All right, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Michael Ward from GMS Lake Charles Camp, coming at you again with another video through the Spirit. But before I do anything, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who strive and taught us just truth. And blessings to you brothers across four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity. And this title, is going to be called Remember the Covenant, And what made me, talk about this subject that I'm going to talk about, is because, Yahushua, the Lord made a covenant, with the earth, that he would never flood it again, and he has set a bow in the cloud to remember, the covenant that he made with this present world, but, all people, well, not everybody, in today's society, they take that rainbow that the scripture speaks about and they put it up on their pictures, and talk about some fucking happy Pride Month, man. This world goes against everything that the Lord stands for, man. That's why this place is going to be destroyed, man. And all people are so lost, man. And, they putting this shit, in cartoons, and everything, man. I had my daughter, about a week ago, she was watching fucking Coco Melon, and as I'm laying down, as I'm laying down, you have the kids, running around with the flags, man. Running around with the flags, and then you have Coco Melon, posting on their Facebook, happy fucking Pride Month, man. With all the kids dressed up in like fucking rainbows, man. Rainbow shirts and pants and shit. And that's why this place, has to be destroyed, man. And that's why this place will be destroyed, man, with fire, man. Because this place goes against everything that the Lord stands for. This is Genesis chapter 9 and verse 13. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. I have placed a rainbow in the clouds. It is the sign of my covenant with you and with the earth. Right, man. It's a sign of a covenant with us and with the earth, man. Letting us know that the Lord is not going to ever flood this place again, man, with water. It says, verse 14 in the NLT, when I send a cloud over the earth, and the rainbow will appear in the clouds. And I will remember my covenant with you and with all the living creatures. Never again will I flood. Never again will the flood waters destroy all the life. Right, man. So that covenant, when that rainbow comes up in the air, man, it's the Lord, remembering the covenant that he made with this place, man. That he would never flood it with water, But all people take it, and turn it into something else. Turn it into something that is really not. I was going to say we had an accident, but we didn't have an accident. A couple of days ago, I was taking a picture of a rainbow, and you have Issachar, he was looking at me and he was laughing. And I turned around, I'm like, hey, what the fuck you laughing at? And he was like, it's your month. And that shit pissed me off, And I was going to get on his ass, but I'll say, what the fuck are you talking about? And he was like, nah, bro, I'm just playing. It's just that you taking a picture of the rainbow. I say, do you even know what the rainbow represents? And he was like, nah, what it represents. And I was telling him these things, and he was like, oh, you must be big on the Bible. I say, yeah. He was like, oh, I ain't know, bro, my bad. Basically apologizing, man. And he was like, I really didn't know, what that means. And I showed him the scriptures. And he was like, damn. That's all he could say was damn. And I was like, yeah. But the world we live in, they take it and turn it into something that is not, man. And that's what they do. This is, did I read verse 16? Come read verse 16. This is Genesis chapter 9 and verse 16 in the NLT. It say, and when I say the rainbow when I see the rainbow in the cloud, I will remember the eternal covenant between the Most High and the living creature on the earth. Right, man? You know? So when that rainbow comes up in the cloud, man, is representing the covenant, man, that the Lord made, you know, with this present world, man, and the living creatures. That he would never flood it again, man. You know? He flooded it the first time, you know, in a time of Noah with the wickedness, man. You know, had the water busting through the grounds, all type of shit, man. But he's not going to do that this time. This time is going to be a flood of fucking fire, bro. You know? And look at the rainbow, man. You know, nice ass rainbow. You know, you can't even go outside and look up at the rainbow for a long time without niggas, you know, thinking certain shit, bro. You know, and I made the point earlier about the cocoa melon. You know, I went on Facebook and I screenshotted it and look at this shit, man. Happy Pride Month from Cocoa Melon, man. That shit is off, bro. You know, and they putting this shit in all kids' face, man. This shit is on damn near every cartoon, bro. You have to pay attention to that shit, man. That's why, you know, when my daughter watching certain shit, I'm watching it with her, man. If anything look off, I'm turning that shit off, man. You know? This shit, bro, we got to get up out of here, man. This place is not right, man. You know? I can't wait till the Lord come back. I can't wait till Yahweh Shah come back and destroy this place, man. You know? And all these motherfuckers, you know, who's talking about Happy Pride Month, you know, taking a rainbow, you know, and posting it up on their pictures, man, the Lord's going to destroy your ass too, man. But, you know, Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who strive and taught us this truth. And peace, safety, and blessings to your brothers across the four winds, pushing this truth and sincerity. Until next time, I want to say, Shalom.